Hey, everybody. Listen, it's Tuesday night, 7:02. It's time to grandstand, everybody. Go ahead and get your favorite snack, your favorite beverage. Send a text out. Let some of your people know that it is time to grandstand. Hey, everybody. It's Mother Theresa here. How is everyone doing on this Tuesday evening? And I would say a chilly, cold Tuesday evening, but it's not as cold as it was this morning. It started out pretty chilly, but it's okay now. I hope you all have had a great day on this Veterans Day. I hope you've been able to celebrate a veteran. Tell them to thank you for their service. If not, post something online. I know most of you all that are listening, that are tuned in, you are on different social media platforms, so it's definitely not too late. All righty, let's talk about something tonight. Let's just get into it and just talk about some things. As you all know, I try to always be relevant. I try to always come up with some things that is going to make you think about some things that's either going on in your life right now, or some things that has happened in your life, or as my pastor used to say, either you're going through something, you're about to go through something, or you're just coming out of something. So anyway, we want to talk about some things that I know, I've definitely heard people say. Let me just take a breath. For all the strong people out here, for all the strong ones who sometimes get tired of being the strong one, being the one that, hey, everybody, hey, mama, hey, honey, hello there, Miss Shekinah May, and everybody else that's on here. Listen, if you send me a message, then I know that you're here and I can shout you out. And if you don't want me to shout you out, then okay, I understand. Some of you all catch this on the replay. So for all of my people that are listening, hey, how y'all doing? This is Mother Theresa, or the other Mother Theresa from East Texas, that is. So I'm typically on every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock for about 30 to 45 minutes. And I just come on to grandstand with you all to tell you about the good things, the grand things that's happening not only in my life, but in the lives of the people that are connected with me. And I often try to give you all some practical everyday tips, strategies, topics about just life in general. But I come to you all from a Christian standpoint, because I am who I am. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and so I have to just talk to you all and share with you all what's in my heart, what he puts in my heart and my spirit. And I don't mean to come off as preachy, but I have to just kind of share with you all how he gives it to me. So on tonight, for all of you strong people who have just said, I am tired of being the strong one. I am tired of being the one that everybody always comes to when they need something. I'm the one that is holding everything together. I'm the one that when people have problems, they come to. I'm the one that if the house is on fire, guess what? They want me to be there to make sure everything is okay. But guess what, you all? Strong people get tired too. Strong people need a break too. Strong people need people that they can talk to. Okay? So if you are the strong person, if you're the one that seems to be holding everything together, sis and brother, I know you're tired. Okay? And so we're going to talk about it on tonight. I'm going to try to give you some strategies to try to help you to be able to reboot. And not only to reboot, but to reset, get your mind back together, and then you can go a little while longer. Because guess what? You know, for the strong people, you know, our cup a lot of times is empty. And I like to say that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you've got to keep your cup full. And how do you do that? How do you manage to keep your cup full when you're always pouring out? Hello there, Monique. I'm glad to see you on tonight. Hello there, my friend, Sister Sherry. I'm glad to see you all on tonight. So strong people, how do you seem to keep your cup full or filled when you're always pouring out to others? How do you manage to do that? Well, some of y'all have to be very strategic in how you move, how you're doing things, and you just learn how to make it work. And I'm going to tell you that we talked about boundaries once before, and we talked about how you have to put boundaries in place in order to protect your peace, in order to protect your sanity. Hello there, Miracle. You have to tell us how the thing went on Saturday. You have to be able to share with us, and not only share with us, but share with other people how you have to put some things in place. So if you know that you are the strong one, you're the ones that, people are constantly pulling on, how do you share your needs with other people, with your family members, with your friends, with your coworkers? How do you share what you need with them? Because guess what? They don't have a problem asking you or sharing with you what they need. So then how do you share what you need with the people that are in your lives? Okay. So for some of the things that I have on here, it says, we are typically the ones who always hold it together. The ones who everybody runs to when life is falling apart. But then who do we have to run to? The scripture says, he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Those who have hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Okay. And so we've got to understand that is what the Lord tells us. And I'm going to give you some other scripture as well. But I wanted you all to understand is that a lot of times when you are the strong person, a lot of times you become so overwhelmed, so exhausted from being everybody else's anchor, that you forget to throw out your own anchor. Sometimes when you are sinking, you don't know how to fight the currents. You don't know how to swim or float so you can be safe, because you're steady being that person for someone else. So if you know that's you, if you are the strong person, just put something in the chat. Just say, hey, I'm the strong person. Okay. And sometimes we don't want to admit it. We don't want to even call it out, because guess what? If this message seems to be that you are trying to get a message to other people about you're tired or you are feeling overwhelmed, what I need you all to understand is that you have to be able to share with other people in your family, in your circle, that you are tired. You have to be able, all right, I see that. Thanks, Monique. If you cannot tell the people in your circle that you need a break, then it's probably a little bit more that's going on, okay? It's probably, all right, Sister Sherry, it's probably a little bit more that's going on. Sometimes I tell my husband, I just need to just kind of relax, to just kind of pull back. I need the house to myself. I need to be able to have a day where I'm not doing anything, where I'm not responsible for nobody, and my husband, thank God, he does a lot. When I say he does a lot, you all that know my family dynamics, he does a lot. So when he wrote this book about strong and steady, he is strong and steady. Okay. He's my strong and steady person. So he is a strong person, and I know that I am too, but we have two strong individuals that in my household. Now, my son will probably say he's a strong person too, so I'm going to give him that. But I'm really talking about, if you know, then you know that you are the backbone. You know that you are the person. Yeah, Miracle, I see the exhaustion. If you know, then you know. But what I want you all I want you all to understand that the weight of being the strong person means that it becomes a silent burden. And the reason why I say it becomes a silent burden is because a lot of times we feel like we can't speak that. We can't say it out loud. We think that our silence is strength, and it's really not. But we become so immune to not sharing what we need, and we just bottle that stuff on the inside. We just keep it all on the inside. And all the time, we're breaking, we are bending, we are we're tired. That's a good word. But you all, not only does that cause us to start bending and breaking, but it also calls us to be sometimes resentful. And I said that before, that a lot of times when you're doing things and you feel like you are the only one that's being the responsible person, or you are the one that is always called upon, sometimes you can become resentful, okay? And resentful of the very people that you're supposed to love, the very people that's in your inner circle, okay? And I said this before. If I'm talking to you, then I'm talking to you. If I'm not talking to you, then I'm not talking to you. But if I am talking to you, I want you to understand that you need to give yourself permission to have a really courageous conversation with your family, with your circle, with your village, okay? And if I'm not talking to you, but you know I'm describing a family member of yours, then I want you to have another courageous conversation and ask that person how you can support them, how you can help take a load off of their shoulders, okay? Because sometimes, let me just tell you, that strong person is not always going to tell you exactly what they need. Because guess what? They're so used to masking it. They're so used to being silent. They're so used to taking care of everybody else that guess what? They don't feel like they should even voice they don't feel like they should voice what they need. And so by just looking at them sometimes, you know that they're beat down, you know they're exhausted, you know that they're tired, you know they're sick, you know they are going through. So as that person's family member, loved one, co-worker, give them some grace, but also extend your hand. Because sometimes the things that they actually need maybe just a listening ear, okay? They may just need a listening ear. But then sometimes they need you to say, okay, what can I do for you to lighten your load? What can I do for you today? Can I go to the grocery store for you? Can I cook a meal for you? Can I come over and clean your house? Can I go and pick up the kids for you? Can I run some errands for you? Can I go take your car to the car wash? Can I go take your car to get it gassed up? Hello there, Sister Barbara. Can I do something for you that you normally do for me or do for others? Okay? We know what these people in our circle, in our village are doing because we're watching them every day. We're watching them struggle. We're watching them go above and beyond what you typically do, okay? And then watching them, you sit back and you just say, oh, they're just doing what they normally do. Well, they're doing what they normally do because no one else may do it, all right? So I don't want to guilt trip you into doing anything, but what I do want you to do is be mindful of the people that are in your circle, that are in your village. Be mindful of the things that they have going on in their lives as well. You know, some of us are getting older, and a lot of the things that I used to enjoy doing, or maybe not necessarily so much as enjoy doing, but I did it. Um, at this point, I'm not able to do all of those things. And so because of that, then, you know, either my husband has had to pick up the slack or some of the other family members. You know, Christmas time is coming up soon. And so it's here. And for those of you all that follow me, know that I do December Smiles for the entire month of December. But not only that, the Christmas season is my favorite time of the year. And I like to really, really decorate my house and make my surroundings I go overboard, and I know that I do. My husband has been telling me this for years. I go overboard. But because I love Christmas so much, I just like to just have, you know, most of the house decorated. Well, guess what? About, several years ago, when I started having problems with my feet, and I developed what's called psoriatic arthritis, it's now have me where I can't do all of those things that I used to do. I cannot stand for a long period of time without, you know, feeling the stress and the strain of that. Even walking a great distance or just being able to pick up heavy things, a lot of different things. You have it's an autoimmune disease. When you have things like that or a diagnosis, it definitely changes your body. And so because of that, I've now had to rely on a lot of more help from my husband, and then also my grandkids and my son. Now, let me just tell you, my son can decorate the house for Christmas because he's been doing it with me for so long, and my husband as well. So they can come in and they can decorate the house just pretty much the way that I want it. And then, of course, my girls and my grandkids, they come over and they help us put up, you know, not one tree, but two trees. I have a tree for the grandchildren. So they come over, and I'm looking forward to them being able to help me. Okay. So I said all of this to say that sometimes the weight of being the strong person, being the person who does everything, sometimes what we are expecting or what we need is for somebody to say, hey, can I help you out? Like they said, can I help a sister out? Yes, you can. Okay. And so do that. And if you are the person that's watching again, that you are the strong person, guess what? Sometimes people think you really like doing all of that stuff, so they think you don't want any help, but deep down inside you really, really do. Open your mouth and tell them that you need some help. Open your mouth and ask for what you need. Don't just assume that people know what's going on inside of here, because they do not. We've got to be able to open our mouths and tell the people what we want, okay? So, one of the other things that I wanted to share with you too is that God didn't ask us to carry all of these burdens. He did not ask us to bear all of this. Matter of fact, he says in his word, he said, cast all of the care on him and all of these heavy burdens. What did he tell us to do with these heavy burdens? You know, we don't have to bear all of this. We do not have to be the strong person. God is the strong man, okay? So we need to allow him to take on what is his and allow us to do what we can do with the rest of it. I said already that sometimes we confuse strength with silence, thinking that if we admit that we are tired, that it means that we're weak. And that's not the case. You know, silence doesn't automatically equate to weakness. So we've got to understand that. And then also, one of the things that my husband often talks about is that sometimes when we ask people, how are you doing? What do they normally respond with? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. And all the time, they're not. They're crumbling on the inside. Okay, so that is our automatic response, is that I am fine. I'm fine. And you know that you are not fine. Okay? So if you're not fine, if you're not good, then don't say that you're good. And then I know what you're thinking. You're saying, well, people really don't want to know really how you're feeling. Some people really do. Now, you're right. Some people really don't. But guess what? In order to make you feel better and to get it off of your chest, tell the people how you really feel. When they ask you, how are you doing? The next person that asks you, how are you doing? Really tell them how you're doing and just watch their response. You know, some people may just kind of get away from you quick, fast, and in a hurry. But some people may say, oh, I really didn't know all of that was going on. How can I help you? How can I help you? So tell the people how you are doing. Stop pretending, okay? Stop pretending that you're strong. It's okay. Give yourself permission to feel, okay? Give yourself permission to feel. And also, while I'm saying that, give yourself permission to heal. Because if you start telling people how you really feel, then I'm quite sure you will start healing in some areas that you are broken, okay? And a lot of times people don't want to admit that they're broken in some areas, you know, because in society, they look at the people who are strong and all of that, and that's what they that's I don't want to say it's a status symbol, but we look at the strong and we say, oh, they're so strong and they're so this and they're so that. But then you look at the person who is feeble and weak and it's like, oh, poor pitiful them. Well, guess what? That person who's weak used to be strong as well. They used to be strong, okay? They used to be. And we don't need to fake it. We do not need to fake it, okay? Jesus wants us to, again, lay our burdens, lay them on him, cast all the care for him, on him, okay? And another thing that, you know, we talk about at work because we deal with mental health and, you know, students and you know, people, our children with mental health issues. And we often say, it's okay not to be okay. But it's not okay to not be okay and don't seek any help, okay? So if you know that you're not okay, get some help. Find you a good therapist, okay? Find you a good therapist. Find you a good counselor. Find you somebody, a trusted adult that you can talk to and talk to that individual. Now, be careful who you find to talk to. Don't just go and share your business with somebody who you know is, as soon as you finish talking to them, it's going to be on Facebook. Okay? They may not call your name, but they're going to get so many other key descriptors that everybody's going to know exactly who they're talking about. So don't go to that person. Find you a trusted adult that you can talk to. And then practice truth telling with them, okay? Practice some truth telling with some safe people. Stop saying I'm fine when your soul is screaming for help. And so many of us, y'all, our soul is screaming for help. But we've gotten so used to covering that up or masking that we can't even, people don't even recognize our scream anymore because it's so silent. It's so soft, okay? So I want you all to get into the practice of truth telling. And not only get into the practice of truth telling, but remember your boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to have a full day that you say no to everything. Okay, anybody, somebody come and want something. No, no, no. I'm sorry, but I just can't do that. Not today. Okay. And sometimes when we are saying no, you all, and we're going to be nice about it because we're nice people. Okay. But when you are telling people no and you set boundaries, people respect that. Okay. People will respect the fact that you know that you can say no, because guess what? So many of them cannot do that. And they wish that they could. Okay. So now, not everybody's going to be happy when you tell them no. Remember, we've talked about this before. Not everybody is going to be happy when you tell them no. Okay. Because people typically, if you're the person who's typically the one that's always giving and giving and giving, honey, a light went out. If you're the person that's always giving, 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 then a lot of times that's what they expect you to do. So they're expecting you to keep doing what they need you to do because it lightens their load, okay? They're not so much as worried about your load. They're worried about their load and the things that they're doing. So get into the habit of saying no. It's okay to delegate a rest day, okay? I said you can have a no day, but you can also have yourself a rest day. And if you cannot take the whole day, then at least take a portion of your day where you set aside for you to just, thank you, honey, where you're just doing a rest day, maybe a partial day or a couple of hours. I know a lot of people like to say that they're doing their what do they call it, self-care and different things, and they may go get their nails done, they may go and get their hair done, a lot of different things. Just go sit at the park, go whatever you decide to do on your day. That's your day. Do it. Okay, do it. Take some time to take care of yourself. Sometimes you have to just step away from some things. Step away, ooh, and let there be light. You have to step away from some things and let some other people handle the things that's going on for that particular day. All right. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Okay. God never called you to be this other people's savior. He called you to be his servant, because guess what? He is the Savior. We cannot take the place of God. We cannot take the place and stand in the gap all the time for everybody, okay? We need to let God be God and do what he needs to do, all right? And guess what? A lot of times we do those things because we feel like if we don't do the things that people are asking us to do, sometimes we have a fear of losing people. Even in your family, sometimes you have a fear that if I don't do what they're asking me to do, then I'm going to lose them, or they're not going to love me, or whatever. One of the things, and I'm grateful for my family. I really am. I'm grateful for my family because the things that we do for our family, we want to do. And sometimes there are situations where we can't do. And what we let them know is, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. But I thank God that he has blessed us as a family unit to be able to help take care of each other. And so, and I don't mind doing that. My husband and I, we don't mind helping and taking care. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be our family. But when God, moves upon us to be able to do something, whether it be financially or, helping physically or doing whatever it is that God will have us to do. Sometimes it's just picking up the phone and calling somebody and just leaving a word of encouragement and just say, hey, I was thinking about you and I wanted to call and make sure that you're doing okay. Sometimes that's what a lot of people just want. They just need to know that somebody is thinking about them, especially if they're the ones who's always making the phone calls to other people. Okay? Sometimes, honey, sometimes those people are just wanting somebody to just step in and be able to call, just like I just called my honey and he came right in to take care of it. Sometimes people just want you, a person, to be able to be at the receiving end or the other end to say, hey, I'm here. What do you need? How can I help you? What assistance can I provide for you? And this is a perfect example, you all. I do grandstanding every Tuesday. And I tell you, there are lights that you cannot see in my office. But on the other side of that's okay, honey. On the other side, you are here laughing. He just accidentally turned off my lights. But on the other side of me, there are lights. There's like 3 sets of lights. Every Tuesday, my husband comes in and he sets up the lights for me. Okay. I don't have to ask him to do that. I don't have to ask him. He just does it. Okay. Because he wants to be able to help me to be able to do what I'm doing. Yes, that's the light. And so just like that, you all, we've got to be helpers one to another. Okay. And I appreciate that. I appreciate him being able to do that for me. So it's something, and you may say, well, that's not a very big thing, but it really is. Okay. Anything that's taking the load off of you that somebody else can help you with, it can be something very simple. It can be something as very simple as, going into the kitchen and grabbing a bottle of water. Okay. Those are the types of things that, when I talk about a strong person or a person that's used to doing for other people, if somebody does something as simple as that for you, then you appreciate that. Okay. So again, you all appreciate the people that are in your lives. Appreciate the people by sharing with them and giving them some help. The strong people, reach out, see what they need. See, thank you, honey. See how you can help them, because if you've been on the receiving end, they always are thinking about you. Okay. They're always thinking, what can I do to help so and so out? How can I be a blessing? How can I help alleviate the maybe the stress or the things, that the load that they're carrying or having to do? How can I do that? And so if you know that other people are thinking about that for you, then guess what? It is your time to do that for somebody else. So in this season, I want you all to think about a couple of things. I want you to think about, starting your mornings by asking, uh, what do I need to feel whole today? What do I need? Okay. These are the strong people. Okay. Remember, we said I'm going to give you some strategies to help you. Okay. So ask yourself, what do I need? And when the Lord reveals to you what it is that you need, I need you to be receptive of what God is telling you that you need and what you need to do. Okay. So not only be receptive, but I need you to act on it. Okay. If he tells you this is what I need you to do, okay, then do it. Then do it. It doesn't make sense for us to believe and trust in a God that we cannot fully rely on. Okay. If we say we trust God, we've got to fully trust God. He knows what's best for us. He created us. He knows our beginning. He knows our end and everything in between. So trust whatever it is that he's telling you to do. Okay. Also, start reconnecting with what fills you up. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's laughter. Maybe it's worshiping. Maybe it's walking. Maybe whatever it is, reconnect with the things that fills you up. And then the other thing I want you to do is I want you to say with me, I release the pressure to be everything for everyone, and I am allowed to rest. Again, I release the pressure to be everything for everyone, and I give myself, or I am allowed to rest. I give myself permission to rest, and I am allowed to rest. Okay? I am allowed to say no. I am allowed to have a rest day. I am allowed to have a day where I can say no. Okay? I remember I said that God is not asking us to be strong for everybody. Okay? But guess what? He is still expecting us to allow him to be strong for us, okay? Remember I said we can't do God's job. We got to let God be God, okay? We got to let him be God. You don't have to keep proving your strength. You're already strong enough. You're already enough. You're already who God called and created you to be. You don't have to keep trying to prove yourself to other people. Okay? Because guess what? Other people are going to allow you to continue. Some people will allow you to continue to do, and do some more. They're going to let you keep doing it. Okay? Because you're not going to disturb their peace. And you know, something happened the other day. And there was a situation that happened, and a friend of mine had to remind me that just because that's their 911, that's their emergency, don't allow it to become mine. Because it really wasn't my emergency. It was their emergency. It was their 911. But then when they called and I responded, I began to kind of get to the point where I was like, okay, let me go ahead and figure this out for them. And my friend had to remind me and say, don't let their 911 become your 911, because it's really not. It's really, and it wasn't. It really wasn't. So I appreciate that. Another declaration. I'm strong, but I'm also human. Okay. Say to yourself, I am strong, but I'm also human. And so, as being a human, we know that we have some weaknesses within ourselves. Yes, I'm strong, but I'm also a human. Okay. I give myself again the permission to rest and be replenished. A lot of times when, yes, honey, take care and breathe. Absolutely. That is my tagline. Take care and breathe. We've got to give ourselves permission to rest and to be replenished. And that is when that rest day happens, is that when you say, I'm going to take the time to rest. I'm going to take a day where I am just doing whatever I want to do. And again, sometimes you all, when you say that, even when I said that out loud, I felt a little bit of like, oh, that's being selfish. But no, it's not. No, it's not. And I think that's one of the things that we've got to understand, is that it's not being selfish to take care of yourself. It is really not, okay? God is able to restore what life has drained from us. And let me tell you, life can drain us, but God restores what life has drained from us. Okay? Let him do that for you. Let him do that for you. So I hope that on tonight, that the things that I've talked about is, being strong, when the strong people are just tired. I want you all to understand that, that we all get tired. We all have moments in our life where we are the strong one, but then we also may have moments in our life where we are the ones that are being the recipient of a strong person. And sometimes we kind of waver between the two. But I want you all to understand is that if you feel like you are at the point where you're just tired, you're tired of being the strong one, and you feel like you need a little bit of rest and you need some help, I want to encourage you all to ask for help. My husband put in there, it's okay not to be okay, but get some help. When you're at the point where you feel like, okay, I know I can go on, because that's one thing about the strong people. You're going to keep pushing until you cannot push anymore. Okay. So you can go on, but sometimes it's like, but I don't want to. I want to take some time where I want to be, I want to rest a little bit. Okay. I'm telling you, give yourself permission to do that. And when you give yourself permission to do that, don't let anybody make you feel guilty. Okay? Take care of yourself, everybody. Take care of yourself. We have our again, our Christmas season is, it's here. I almost said right around the corner, but it's here. So we know we're going to be busy. We know we're going to be, trying to make everything look beautiful, and trying to go out and shop and trying to do this. And, right now with the economy being the way that it is, not a lot of people are shopping. People are being very careful with their spending and everything like that. But we still are going to try to make it happen for those babies, for those kids, if you've got kids. But during this season, I want you all to um, um, take care of yourself. Thank the Lord that you've been able to hold it together for everybody else. But for those that are um, have been silent, and you've been the caregivers, and you've been the mothers, you've been the leaders, you've been the daddies, you've been the givers, you've been the giver. I want you all to remind yourself that you can take care of yourself. It's okay to take care and breathe. It's okay to ask for some time, or take the time for yourself. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to have a no day. So God, I thank you for everybody that's listening here on tonight. God, I thank you for seeing the ones who have held everything together. And I ask, God, that you give them strength. You give them strength to not only do the things that they need to do for the people in their lives, but also give them the strength to do the things that they need to do for themselves. Let them be a source of strength. Let them be a source of peace, but also give them a place of rest and refuge. And so, God, we thank you. I'm asking you to renew their strength, renew their peace, to fill their spirits. And God, I ask that you would bless everyone that's up under the sound of my voice, that I have said something that will speak volumes to not only them, but to help them. And if it doesn't help them, then hopefully it can help somebody else that they can share this with. You all, I thank you all so very much for listening to Grandstanding with Mother Theresa. I want you all to really take into consideration the things that I have said on tonight. And, sometimes we have to have, I like to say, those crucial conversations, or those courageous conversations, not only with other people, but sometimes we got to have those courageous conversations with ourselves. Okay. Give yourself permission to be okay, to take a break. And I'm saying this over and over again, because sometimes, you all, it takes somebody hearing something, 21 days or 21 times for it to become a habit. Take care of yourself, y'all. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And as my sister Cynthia likes to say, good night, grandstanders. We will see you all on the next time. Thanks for the hearts. I think that's net. And my honey. You all share this live, okay? And Miss Candace. I'm trying to see who else that is. Thank you, Sister Sherry. All right. Monique, thank you. That's right. Get soul notes. Thank you, honey. Mama, I hope you enjoyed it tonight. Love you, Miss Mommy. I love you too, Candace. For you, those of you all that are still on here, I want to say this is In the Meantime by TJ Culpepper. I had the opportunity to talk to TJ on earlier today, and I was telling him how much we enjoy and love In the Meantime. I shared with him that it is probably his Big Daddy's favorite jingle. And it is, you all do not know how much I enjoy, or we enjoy, TJ's music, especially In the Meantime. It means it has a very special meaning to me. And of course, I've shared with you all what it means to me. But I'm going to have the rest of this story, hopefully in a couple of days, where I can really explain about In the Meantime. All right. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye, everybody.